newsbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, yesterday was Veterans Day, and we'll take a look back at how people celebrated the veterans in their lives here in Maine.
Plus, the ranked choice vote tabulation for the 2nd Congressional District starts today.
And with wildfires burning from coast to coast, forecasters say that the current windy conditions could lead to even more fires.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday morning. We'll have those stories and more coming up. But first, a check of the forecast. Looks like a cloudy day ahead today, this morning. Maybe a chance of a little rain, maybe even a few snowflakes in some areas.
Yeah, I heard that. We definitely need the rain, though, like you were saying. The fire danger is high here in Maine, across the Northeast, and across the entire country.
We need a lot of rain.
I know, so it's not really enough.
Yeah.
But either way, here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have gale warnings that are posted until Wednesday at around the noon time frame because of active surf that will be expected in those areas during that time. Meanwhile, on land this morning, as expected, we have some rain showers that are passing through this morning, tracking from the west. And going toward the east, some cold air will also be wrapping in, so that may cause a few of these to change over to a few snowflakes before it clears out of here later on this morning. Let's zoom things out right now. We have the area low pressure located right about in here, tracking off to the east. We'll get this out of here, and then later this afternoon, things will start to calm down under that mostly cloudy sky. So here's what we got. A few more rain and snow showers calming down later this afternoon and into the evening time frame. Still, the gusty winds will linger later on tonight into parts of Wednesday morning. As for the winds out there, we got gusty winds reaching up to 35 miles per hour at times. Notice those gusty winds continue overnight as well. They'll gradually start to calm down as we head towards tomorrow. But for today, here's what we got. Mid-40s, some morning rain and snow showers, then becoming mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, with that northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, middle 20s, becoming mostly clear and windy. North wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. The hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon periods showing that mostly cloudy sky with a little bit less cloud cover for the afternoon as the rain and snow showers wrap up for the afternoon. Temperatures falling this afternoon into the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. We'll have a look at that full 5-day a little later on. Well, all across our nation, we paused yesterday to honor and remember those who have served our country and defended our freedom. We start our Veterans Day coverage at the Department of Veterans Affairs Togus campus yesterday morning, where veterans and caregivers were honored for their service and sacrifice. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard has the story.
Your service and sacrifice delivered all our rights and freedoms, including the right for us to come together on this very special day.
Tracy Davis is the Medical Center Director for the Department of Veterans Affairs in Maine. Every year they hold a ceremony to mark Veterans Day and honor those who served.
It's an opportunity for us to come together as VA employees, our VA patients, our VA community, but also the general community as well, to all pay tribute to the services and sacrifices that veterans have made for our country.
An honor guard from Kennebec County veterans presented the colors, and those in attendance heard from Davis and Maine's congressional delegation, including Senator Angus King, who says, despite a hyper-partisan climate in D.C., veterans issues always have and always should be something that unites us.
We've got a lot of work left to do. We've still got homeless veterans in Maine. I visited with some folks just 2 weeks ago, 135 or perhaps somewhat more homeless veterans. We should abolish the term homeless veterans. It shouldn't exist. And we've got medical care needs that are still facing us. We have long-term care needs, one of the most serious needs for our veterans as they age.
Another aspect of the ceremony was honoring family caregivers of veterans whose work is so important for the quality of life of their loved ones. One special caregiver, Tammy Dempsey, received a challenge coin for her work providing care for her husband.
I think honoring Tammy was incredibly important for me personally. She is married to a Marine veteran who made incredible sacrifices for our country, but she also made tremendous sacrifices as a caregiver. And sometimes people don't always see that or recognize it. And I felt it was important to recognize all of what she has done here on Veterans Day.
In Augusta, I'm Corey Bichard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, meanwhile, Governor Mills recognized Veterans Day by releasing the following statement, quote, Maine veterans teach all of us to cherish our rights and to remember those who gave their lives for those freedoms. They teach us to remember that our sons and daughters today stand ready to defend those very rights in postings around the globe. They teach us the strong sense of responsibility that comes from hard work and hard times. They teach us honor, dignity, and service. This Veterans Day, I encourage all Maine people to thank a service member and to honor the rights and freedoms those service members have fought for.
And on the coast, Belfast Veterans Day celebrations honored our troops while inspiring younger generations. Our Callie Warren has the story.
Even though we've hung up our uniforms, we're still serving. We're still serving our communities. We're still serving the people of our town.
The people of Belfast gathered to recognize veterans on Monday.
Veterans Day in Belfast is a day where we honor all veterans.
Watching the parade processions from the waterfront and pausing to honor veterans living and dead.
The true cost of that freedom is a price most can't even fathom.
For Belfast's VFW,
We're fortunate enough to do the VFW SA Awards.
an integral part of the day is uplifting Waldo County's youth.
And just having kids share their opinion. Some of the greatest ideas are born from kids in middle school and high schools.
Even if you might not be the best writer, you have good judgment and good opinions. Everyone wants to hear your voice.
I worked for something and I finally got what I worked for. So if you really want to do something, then make sure you do it and work hard for it.
After the public Veterans Day events officially ended, vets gathered at Belfast's American Legion to raise a toast to fallen heroes and celebrate the monumental day with their community.
People can choose to have the day off because we live in a free country. They can come to a parade, they can support veterans, but more importantly, us veterans can get together and support those who didn't come back.
In Belfast,
Happy Veterans Day from Belfast!
Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, hundreds also lined the streets of Brewer and Bangor for the return of the annual Veterans Day Parade. Our Grace Blanchard shares more on that.
Happy Veterans Day!
The sounds of marching, music, and cheers rang through the area as veterans and parade participants marched from Brewer to Bangor once again this Veterans Day.
It's really cool to see how everyone comes out and supports everyone.
Mainers of all ages came out to celebrate and honor those who served.
Both of my boys have, one is serving in the Air Force, one was served in the Marines, and bringing my granddaughter to see the parade and support the veterans.
Some veterans have been walking in this parade for as long as they can remember.
Every one of them. Yeah, I don't think I've missed a parade since I started working for Coles Museum. We like to be recognized. If we don't get recognized, we're going to be forgotten.
For many who served, today is often a day of reflection.
Today I'm thinking about some of my friends I was with and some of my friends that didn't make it home. So today is a day of remembrance for some of them. So.
For others, it's a chance to give thanks.
I really like our community in Bangor, and I'm grateful for living here.
I'm really grateful that they keep our little town safe and that we're all able to be here and safe.
In Brewer and Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Over in Ellsworth, members of the Ellsworth Elks Lodge spent the day cooking and serving free meals for veterans. The lodge offered breakfast, lunch, and dinner for anyone who served in the armed forces and their families. Donations were also accepted. Any proceeds gathered will be shared with veterans in the Ellsworth area.
I've been there before, veteran in need, and we're going to be there for everybody that we can. We do the best we can. Yeah, absolutely.
In addition to the meals, the Elks Lodge also held a heating fuel raffle.
Very nice. Well, flags were also flying in Herman as motorists made their way to work on Monday morning. A handful of Herman residents met on the I-95 overpass on the Newburgh Road to proudly wave the American and state of Maine flags on Veterans Day. A flag wave like this one is held in different locations in Herman throughout the year by different groups of people. The folks we spoke with did not let the rain dampen their desire to celebrate living in the land of the free.
This is the second time we've done it. We did it the day after the election, and we're doing it today to honor our heroes. And numerous people are honking their horns. It's fabulous.
Danielle Haggerty says the group wanted to do the flag wave early in the morning so they could be seen by those heading into work or over to the Bangor Brewer Veterans Day Parade. So nice to see the patriotism alive and well throughout our area.
Yeah. All right, the time now is 6:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, the sewage pipe that led 150,000 gallons of waste being dumped into the Kennebec River has been repaired.
We'll have the latest on that, but first another look at that weather forecast. Today looks like a cloudy day with a chance of a little rain and snow this morning. Highs around 46 degrees. Mostly clear and windy tonight, lows dropping down to the mid-20s. Tomorrow, sunny and windy with highs near 41. We'll be right back.
The holidays. And holiday trips. And holiday toys. And holiday bonding. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
Find your red tag. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Plus, get $3,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit your Maine Chevy dealers.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the Twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
This was built on land that was once a massive orange grove.
Is it Disneyland?
Person, place, or thing. Weekdays at 10 on ABC 7.
A church in Dover Foxcroft is on a mission to reduce its carbon footprint.
Church does evolve. Church is not stuck in one place. Our mindset doesn't stay in the same place because we're always learning and growing.
We'll share the story tonight on ABC 7 News at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. Investigators continue the search for answers following a deadly fire at a Bangor homeless encampment. It was Sunday night when a fire broke out inside a tent at the Camp Hope encampment. Fire crews and police responded and found a person dead at the scene. The man's body was taken to the chief medical examiner's office, where he'll be positively identified. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The city of Bangor is currently working on a plan to close that camp by December 31st.
A sewage line in Winslow is repaired after a rupture late last month dumped nearly 150,000 gallons of raw sewage into the Kennebec River. Brad Rogers looks at how it happened, how long it took to fix the rupture, and why cleaning up the spill isn't an option.
All of the untreated sewage from the town of Winslow is pumped across the river to the sewage treatment plant in Waterville. Workers were in the process of laying a new sewage line beneath the river when a barge hit and ruptured the old pipeline, which was still in use. Town leaders say the rupture happened back on October 22nd when pipeline workers were on a barge resting on just 2 feet of water.
The barge accidentally hit one of the pipes. Luckily, it didn't break it in half, because if it had broke completely, there'd have been a lot more down the river.
Winslow's public works director estimates 150,000 gallons of raw sewage spilled into the Kennebec River before divers could repair the damage 30 hours later.
Call in divers and whatever, and they got it fixed.
The deputy commissioner for Maine's Department of Environmental Protection says unfortunately there is no cleanup that is feasible in terms of recovering any sewage that was discharged into the river. Carol Ogle, whose home is on Winslow's sewage system, says a week later she got home from a trip and discovered sewage in her basement.
When I came back, though, I smelled something, and then by the next day, I went down and looked. So I had sewage in my basement.
She still doesn't know if the two spills were related. Councillor Dale Macklin says they kept using the ruptured line because about 90% of the sewage still reached the treatment plant. He also says it would have been far worse had they allowed sewage to back up into homes and businesses.
There would have been a lot of backup or a lot of sewerage in the river, one or the other.
Workers have since finished putting in the new underwater sewage lines.
The new lines are in, finally. It needed to be replaced years ago.
Yeah, so far so good.
So for now, the old pipeline is patched, repaired, and back in use. No word yet on when they plan to switch to the new pipeline.
And that was Brad Rogers reporting. In other news this morning, the ranked choice voting tabulation in the race for Maine's 2nd Congressional District is scheduled for today in Augusta. The Office of the Secretary of State announced last Friday the race would go to a ranked choice vote count. Secretary of State Shannon Bellows said in part, quote, under Maine election law, blanks may well include write-ins for someone other than the 3 official candidates. Given that more than 12,000 voters made a first choice that was not either Congressman Golden or Representative Theriault, it is mathematically possible that the second choices of those voters could change the outcome. For that reason, the law requires that we proceed with the ranked choice voting tabulation. Well, as it stands, Democrat incumbent Jared Golden has a narrow lead of just over 700 votes, more than Republican challenger Austin Theriault. The ranked choice voting tabulation is open to the public. The count will begin at 1 p.m. this afternoon in the Florian Room at the Maine Department of Public Safety in Augusta. It will also be live streamed through the Secretary of State's YouTube page.
Of course, this is relevant too because we're still on the national side waiting on the results from the U.S. House of Representatives. Of course, right now, Republicans do have a lead by about 9 seats.
9 seats, so it looks like they have control so far anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 6:17 after the break. With fires still burning on both coasts, forecasters are warning that the windy and dry conditions could lead to more wildfires.
We'll take you there when Good Morning Maine continues.
It's being called dancing's hottest season yet, and our Ginger knows a little something about dancing. And this morning, Ginger is in the ballroom with 2 dance-filled mornings for Dancing with the Stars' amazing 500th episode on GMA.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Is that a new generator at your house?
Yep, a Generac automatic standby generator from Valley Home Services. They just installed it. Wished I'd done it sooner.
Comes on automatically?
Yep, no more standing out in the cruddy weather tugging on a rope to start.
Powers your well pump?
Does the whole house. You can come over next time the power goes out. I went with Valley because they'll service and maintain it.
What's the number? I want my own.
Here you go. Call Valley Home Services to install a Generac automatic standby generator for your home today.
It's Veterans Week on Wheels.
Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Air Force, Army.
Hoorah! And these veterans are ready for battle.
Good morning. Wheel of Fortune, yes sir. That's how you do it.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, firefighters on both coasts are battling flames as far as this morning, as gusty winds fuel dozens of wildfires.
Forecasters warn the conditions could spark even more fires in California this week. Fox News senior national correspondent William LaJeunesse has the story.
Dry air and gusty winds creating a perfect storm of fire conditions. In New Jersey, crews battled the Jennings Creek fire, now more than 3,000 acres.
There's a combination of meteorological conditions as well as fuel conditions, which we would say is dry vegetation, dead leaves, dead grasses.
Light rain helped overnight, but it didn't last. Thick clouds of smoke carried into New York, prompting officials to issue a health advisory.
Yeah, there's definitely a smell of smoke.
I smell the smoke, like the burning smoke, the after effect after a fire. It's really bad.
Meanwhile, calmer weather allowed crews in Southern California to gain more control over the mountain fire in Ventura County. Since igniting last week, it scorched more than 20,000 acres and damaged or destroyed more than 220 structures. Some evacuees returned home to find nothing left.
There was a motorcycle in the garage, no sign of it anywhere. Just so many things like that just gone.
Officials say strong winds in the forecast could fuel more fires this week and urge Californians to be prepared.
You also want to have a go bag by your door, so if you have to leave in a moment's notice, that all you have to do is, as you're leaving the door, pick that up, put it in your car.
Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency in Ventura County. As of Monday morning, the fire is 36% contained. In Los Angeles, William Lajeunesse, Fox News.
And again, the conditions here in Maine are very dry. They're urging people to hold off on any burning. They're not, I don't think they're even issuing any burn permits right now, but we need to be careful out there until we get a bunch of rain or some snow anyway.
Yeah, smoking materials discarded and electric tools are to be taken very seriously right now.
Yeah.
Be safe with them.
Yeah. We have a little rain in the forecast, but it's not a lot.
Yeah. Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have gale warnings that are posted until noon on Wednesday because active surf will be expected as we get some gusty winds going today. And those wave heights are increasing at around 3 feet according to the buoys, but farther out towards sea, we have 6 to even 9 feet being observed there. So we will have to watch that as we do move forward in time, as the wave heights will also be increasing for us. But meanwhile, here's what we got. We got rain showers tracking from the west and going toward the east this morning along an area low pressure that is rotating through. It is pulling cold air in from the north, so that may help to change a little bit of this over to a little bit of snow before it does track off toward the east. Then things will start to calm down later on this afternoon, but the clouds will linger for the rest of the day. But notice the system right about in here. Notice a lot of nothing right behind it, so things will start to calm down for us once we get the system out of here. So futurecast moving forward, we'll be watching out for the last of the rain and snow to get out of here. The clouds break up later on today into parts of this evening. But the gusty winds, notice the isobars stay stacked. So that means gusty winds continue overnight tonight under that mostly clear sky. And even in the parts of tomorrow morning, watching out for a lot of sunshine, but still some gusty winds at times too. But those winds will gradually start to calm down slowly but surely throughout the day Wednesday. And then by Wednesday night, a little bit calmer out there, but still maybe a little bit of a breeze at times as we remain relatively clear. So maybe a little bit of additional rainfall and maybe some melted down snow as this all passes through, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch further off towards the north of additional rainfall and melted down snow, but really that's about it. Nothing too major on the way from here on out. But again, we do have gusty winds to watch out for, and those could reach up to about 35 miles per hour, even 40 miles per hour at times. But then those gusts will start to back off a little bit later on tonight to about 25 miles per hour or so. But then notice those gusty winds continue tomorrow up to around 25 miles per hour at times. So otherwise, though, our average high temperature is 47 degrees. We've already hit our high temperature in the mid 40s or so today, but now we're going to be cooling off in the lower 40s or so for the rest of the day, and then maybe even some 30s later on this afternoon to the evening time frame. Well, then we remain in the lower 40s Wednesday into Thursday. Then Friday we're back in the mid 40s. Saturday upper 40s, lower 50s return Sunday and also into your Monday. So your forecast coming up for today, middle 40s. We're going to cool off for the rest of the day too. Some morning rain and snow switching over to a mostly cloudy sky, and the northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. We cool off into the mid 20s tonight, mostly clear and windy. North wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Tomorrow, lower 40s, lots of sunshine, also windy. North wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour at times. Let's check out your extended forecast here, showing lots of sunshine Thursday with highs in the low 40s. Some more rain and snow Friday, switching over to all rain with highs in the mid 40s. Upper 40s Saturday with a chance for rain showers yet again.
We have 1,400 acres of land here on the side of Millinocket Lake, looking right at Katahdin. The types of things that visitors really seek wasn't as robust as it needed to be. The New England Outdoor Center put a lot of energy into trying to build out those recreational amenities. Katahdin Trust was willing to take the time to get to know us. They demonstrated a real willingness to make investments with businesses that are well positioned to help this region grow. They're cheery and pleasant, and they want to help me solve problems.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, And we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
We live in a beautiful state with places we want to actually visit. And with benefits members can actually use, Community Health Options is doing its best to make health insurance work for all of us. So while you're out there enjoying everything that's great about Maine, we're doing all we can to help you be healthy with plans, prices, and help accessing the care you need. That's Community Health Options, made for members, powered by Mainers. Enroll today at healthoptions.org.
Even though Dorsey Furniture is known for our vast collections of quality home furnishings, sometimes we like to venture into the forgotten passageways and dark corners of our enormous warehouse to mine the odd nightstand, forgotten sofa, orphaned love seat, or the elusive discontinued mattress. Meanwhile, our sales manager, not the bean counters, smashed their original retail prices into tiny fractions of themselves. Dorsey Furniture. Black Friday, black tag sale going on now.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Florida's governor is now demanding an investigation after FEMA officials admitted a supervisor instructed emergency relief workers in Florida to avoid homes with a pro-Trump political sign out front. That was in the wake of Hurricane Milton last month. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell said the supervisor responsible has now been fired and has been called to testify before Congress on the matter next week. Following the leaked text that told workers to avoid homes advertising Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the state is launching its own investigation into what he calls the weaponization of government by partisan activists. The mayor of Lake Placid, Florida, said he was stunned that as many as 20 damaged homes were apparently skipped over by emergency relief workers due to Trump signs or flags. FEMA officials have called this an isolated incident, but critics are concerned that the problem could be much larger.
Less than a week after Election Day, President-elect Trump's new cabinet is starting to form. Susie Wiles, a longtime advisor and political consultant, will become the country's first female chief of staff. And the other high-profile selections are showing some of the top priorities of the next administration. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more from New York.
Voters cited immigration as one of the top issues that convinced them to back Donald Trump. And now he's chosen former acting ICE director Tom Homan to be his border czar.
Public safety threats and national security threats will be the priority because they have to be. They pose the most danger to this country. So we're going to prioritize those groups.
Longtime advisor, speechwriter, and immigration hardliner Stephen Miller has been named a deputy chief of staff. Some Democrats are already digging in their heels for a fight over immigration policies.
Stephen Miller and Tom Homan were the architects of a lot of the first Trump administration horrific immigration policies. And so family separation, mass detentions, those kinds of things is what was promised and by the Trump administration.
A vocal Trump supporter in Congress, New York Representative Elise Stefanik will be the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Stefanik has been a staunch supporter of Israel and has criticized some of the UN's stances on the war in the Middle East. And while others line up for key spots, Trump is calling on the next leader of the Senate to fast-track them.
What we have seen in the last number of administrations, including the former Trump administration, is that we stalled out any time we were trying to get the appointments done in a timely manner. This is incredibly important.
Monday, former New York Representative Lee Zeldin confirmed that Trump picked him to lead the EPA. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, flights headed to Haiti are halted after a Spirit Airlines plane was hit with what appears to be gunfire. Airlines in the U.S. canceled all flights to the country on Monday following that incident. And JetBlue says it will extend its halt on flights to Haiti until December 2nd. A Spirit Airlines flight was set to land in the capital of Port-au-Prince, but was diverted to the Dominican Republic after it suffered damage from suspected bullets. One flight attendant reported an injury, and the capital's airport was temporarily closed. Spirit says the damaged plane is now out of service, and it has canceled all other Haiti-bound flights as it investigates that incident.
And coming up on the second half of the newscast, Ed Hendrickson of Brewer is turning 104 this year, and for his birthday, he's asking for donations to the Bangor Humane Society. He's a World War II vet.
We'll hear all about it coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Why spend money at an ATM? Avoid those extra fees with Maine Credit Unions and have access to the largest surcharge-free ATM network in the state. Find a SURF ATM near you at mainecreditunions.org.
Whether you have a $15,000 fender bender or a surgery case worth $1 million, call the Twos.
Thankfully, my accident wasn't too serious, but I called the Twos, and Lowry and Associates still got me over $21,000.
My wife needed neck surgery after a bad accident. We called the Twos, and Lowry and Associates got her $1 million.
Big cases and small, we handle them all. Call us. We win for you.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Discover the charm of Warren's Waterfront Restaurant, Bucksport's only waterfront dining. Relax in a cozy atmosphere where every visit feels like home. Indulge in fresh, flavorful dishes paired with stunning river views. Join us at Warren's Waterfront, your perfect escape.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Black Friday starts now at the Furniture Gallery. We're bringing you the best deals of the year. Save 10% store-wide. That's on top of our everyday low prices. Incredible savings in all categories. Want a mattress with an adjustable base? It's 10% off. How about a new sofa and love seat? 10% off. Need a new recliner or lift chair? 10% off. Plus, save up to 70% on all in-stock clearance items at the Furniture Gallery. Support our Maine family-owned business and save money at the Furniture Gallery.
At home or on the go, access your accounts anytime with digital banking from your Maine Credit Union. With mobile wallet and remote deposit, your accounts are always at your fingertips. Find out more at mainecreditunions.org.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, and it is also Chicken Soup for the Soul Day.
This is a day for exploring and unpacking deep-rooted emotional issues and searching for inspiration to lead more fulfilling lives. Nobody can solve all of their problems without help or inspiration from their surroundings. The purpose of Chicken Soup for the Soul Day is to take a fresh approach to thinking about problems. It can help find creative solutions that can address underlying issues which many are normally not willing to confront.
So how about that? You ready to unpack some of that baggage?
I'm just going to have some soup.
There you go.
I'm going to leave my baggage packed today, honestly.
It's also National Happy Hour Day, so if you don't want to do all that, just go have a drink.
Oh.
You know, maybe I shouldn't say that on live TV, but I'll deal with my problems tomorrow.
Well, we had this conversation. What day are we going to write about today? It's National Happy Hour Day, and it's also, what is it, National Get Outside Week or Go Do Something
That was
week.
in, it was in Iceland, though.
Oh.
So it was an Icelandic holiday, so we didn't put that in there.
Okay.
There weren't a lot of really cool holidays today.
Right.
I think we all winners.
This is the dichotomy. Solve all your problems day, or go have a drink. Is that our society?
That's pretty much what it is. Some people think the drink will solve the
There's
problems.
a problem with
but
that.
It
but
won't.
Yeah, I may have a drink. I may solve all my problems. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe just have some chicken soup. It's good.
I know.
And it's healing.
I know. I would also take that. That sounds good too. Yeah.
All right, moving on to history now. Kind of a blah day in history too, I warn you.
Oh no.
There were a lot of bad things that happened too that I left out. I was trying to find some good things.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, I know.
My heart can't take it.
We don't need it
I
all.
really can't, Craig.
All right, on this day in history, back in 1927, Joseph Stalin became the undisputed ruler of the Soviet Union after Leon Trotsky was expelled from the Communist Party.
I see what you mean.
Safe, okay.
It's going to be like that the whole time, is it?
No, we got a few other good ones.
Oh, okay.
In 1933 in Philadelphia, the first Sunday football game was played. That's good news for
That's
football
good news.
fans.
I don't like football.
People love Sunday football, though. Not
Yeah,
you. But
yeah.
in 1936, the San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge opened as President Roosevelt pressed a telegraph key in Washington and gave the green light to traffic. That was huge news at the time for the folks out there. So that's good news.
Okay.
In 1954, Ellis Island closed its doors after processing more than 12 million new Americans. President Benjamin Harrison ordered the creation of that facility in 1890 as the nation's first federal immigration center. The states had been taking care of it before that. Known as the Gateway to America, millions of Americans can trace their roots through Ellis Island. Kind of taking a different approach to immigration these days here in our country.
Right, yeah. I have ancestors that could be traced back through there.
What an incredible place. If you ever get a chance to go to Ellis Island, you walk there. It's pretty quiet now, but you think about the millions of people that walk through there.
Yeah, right.
And it's still, they've kind of left it kind of like it was when they closed it. There's still like luggage and things there.
It's been decades.
You know, it's been decades, but it really is a moving place. A lot of people can trace their family roots back to that time.
Cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
In 1979, President Jimmy Carter shut down oil imports from Iran after 66 Americans were taken hostage at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. He feared terrorists might launch attacks on oil tankers and refineries. In 1987, the American Medical Association issued a policy statement that said it was unethical for a doctor to refuse to treat someone because they tested positive for AIDS or HIV.
It was a confusing time back then. I was covering news then, and we were doing stories on people were wondering if you could get it from a toilet seat, for example.
Right.
So at that point, people were petrified that this was going to spread through society. They didn't know what to do. Even doctors didn't quite know what to do yet. So we kind of figured it out since then.
Right. They had to have some research done on it.
More bad news here for you.
Okay, in 2004, Scott Peterson was convicted of murdering his wife, Lacey, and their unborn son, a case that captivated millions across America and saturated media coverage for almost 2 years. And in 2021, a judge ordered an end to a court order that had controlled the life and money of pop star Britney Spears for nearly 14 years.
So yay, Britney.
I know.
See?
I know the damage has been done, though.
I know. All right, for birthdays today, they include actor Ryan Gosling, a real heartthrob. He's 44 years old today.
Yeah.
You think he's a heartthrob?
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Not your type, huh?
Yeah.
Actress Anne Hathaway turns 42. I think she's amazing.
I love Anne Hathaway and Neil Young, actually.
And Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Neil Young
Yeah.
is 79 years old today. Still out there doing his thing, too.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to them.
I know these are three big stars, though.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Neil Hathaway. Anne Hathaway is one of those people that just, you can't find any dirt on her. You know how all these celebrities these days are just, you're coming out with something. Yeah, Anne Hathaway's just riding high.
She's doing a good job. I mean, she had some problems with a bad relationship. She made a bad man choice one time.
Yeah.
But since then, I think she's married, has kids now. She's leading a good life. And yeah.
Bad man choice.
Bad man choice.
Oh, I feel for you.
Been there, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the weather. It looks like just kind of a gray day today. Get a little precipitation out of the way this morning.
Have some chicken soup.
Have some chicken soup.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be okay, everyone.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have gale warnings that are posted until Wednesday at around the noon time frame because of active surf that will be expected in those areas during that time. Meanwhile, on land this morning, as expected, we have some rain showers that are passing through this morning, tracking from the west. And going toward the east, some cold air will also be wrapping in, so that may cause a few of these to change over to a few snowflakes before it clears out of here later on this morning. Let's zoom things out right now. We have the area low pressure located right about in here, tracking off to the east. We'll get this out of here, and then later this afternoon, things will start to calm down under that mostly cloudy sky. So here's what we got. A few more rain and snow showers calming down later this afternoon and into the evening time frame. Just still, the gusty winds will linger later on tonight into parts of Wednesday morning. As for the winds out there, we got gusty winds reaching up to 35 miles per hour at times. Notice those gusty winds continue overnight as well. They'll gradually start to calm down as we head towards tomorrow. But for today, here's what we got. Mid-40s, some morning rain and snow showers, then becoming mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, with that northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, middle 20s, becoming mostly clear and windy. North wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon periods showing that mostly cloudy sky with a little bit less cloud cover for the afternoon as the rain and snow showers wrap up for the afternoon. Temperatures falling this afternoon into the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. Well, a local veteran is hoping you can make his birthday wish come true.
Ed Hendrickson, of Brewer will turn 104 years old this week, and in honor of that milestone, he's asking for donations to the Bangor Humane Society.
As Jody Hersey tells us, his birthday fundraiser was inspired by a pair of brothers who volunteer in the Bangor community.
How are you doing? Good. How are you doing? Good. World War II veteran Ed Hendrickson and 11-year-old twin brothers Dawn and Frankie Venziano have participated in the Bangor Brewer 4th of July and Veterans Day parades for the past few years. Their connection has actually grown into a sweet friendship. In fact, Hendrickson says it was the brothers and their volunteer work at Coles Museum and the Bangor Humane Society that inspired him to create an online fundraiser to benefit the Humane Society for his upcoming 104th birthday.
I love kids, and your two children I happen to be fond of because they were in the same parade that I was.
My sons say it's actually Hendrickson who is the true inspiration.
I think we should be more inspired by him than he should be inspired by us.
When Hendrickson turned 103 last year, he received more than 6,000 birthday cards. This year, instead of cards, he would like to see people donate a few dollars to his Ed for Pets fundraiser by his birthday on Thursday, November 14th.
It would be nice if we could reach $5,000 at least.
Over $2,000 has been raised so far. Catherine Ravenscraft says the Bangor Humane Society and nonprofits everywhere benefit from the generosity of people like Ed Hendrickson.
The idea is just to raise as much money as possible in tribute to Ed for making it to 104 and for serving his country so selflessly.
Those who would like to contribute can find the link for Ed's fundraiser on the Bangor Humane Society's Facebook page. In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Very nice. Let's hope he gets lots of donations.
Yeah, Ed's coming in on Thursday with Catherine for our Pet of the Week, too.
All right.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
All right. Right after the break, Tyler Cruz will have our sports updates.
Don't go away.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
When outdoors, some people like it hot and some people like it cold. However, when indoors, most people like it comfortably warm. Choose a Boderas boiler from McCusick Petroleum Company to provide you with comfortable and efficient heat. They also offer sales and service on many brands of furnaces, boilers, and water heaters. McCusick Petroleum Company delivers oil and LP gas to homes and businesses throughout the Pequot region. If you'd like more information on pricing or service, call or stop by our office in Dover Foxcroft.
At WKIT in the 90s, things were a little different. Now we take the rock very seriously. Still clowning around decades later, 100.3 WKIT, WKIT HD, Brewer, Bangor.
Hey, good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Every day of your life.
It is even sweeter the second time around. Welcome back in, everyone. Thanks for staying with us for the second straight year. Maine women's soccer is heading to represent the Pine Tree State in the Division I NCAA tournament. The Black Bears punching their ticket Sunday evening with a 3-0 win over rival New Hampshire. Maine wins their second consecutive America East title, and they earn a trip to Wisconsin to play the 5th-seeded Badgers in the first round. That game Friday at 8 p.m. Last year, Maine made the trip to Boston in the first round of the tournament to play Harvard. They fell to the Crimson, but that experience, plus playing a Big Ten school early this fall, should pay off this weekend.
Taking last year was definitely a step in the right direction. We're a more experienced, more mature team. We kind of know the protocol, and we're going to take it like we've taken every game this season, which seems to have worked well. So
we saw Rutgers early this year as a Big Ten opponent, and I think we were really able to sort of impose our identity early in that game. But we definitely learned some stuff from that game, and also playing in the national tournament last year.
The Black Bears cap off their repeat conference tournament title after winning the first America East regular season championship in program history. Last season, it was more of an underdog story for Maine. They weren't the top seed, but this year they say they had a target on their back all year, but they spent more time chasing rather than defending that title.
We weren't really defending a title as we were chasing another one. It's a new season, new team, and so new goals as well, and some of that was also making it past the first round of the national tournament. So yeah, we're excited for this opportunity to hopefully reach that goal.
Last year we were a bit of an underdog story, but this year there was a target on our back, but we really made a big point of chasing, not defending a title. You know, we wanted to go after it just like we did last year.
Let's stay with college soccer now, and for the first time in 15 years, the Husson Eagles are heading to the NCAA Division III Women's Soccer Tournament. The Eagles defeated SUNY Delhi on Saturday afternoon 4-0 to win the North Atlantic Conference Championship game. Kate Harriman had 2 goals in the contest. They drew NYU in the first round of the NCAA. To the Big Apple they go. The Eagles already played the Violets this season in their non-conference schedule, so now they know exactly what to expect.
When we do our non-conference schedules, I seek out the best competition we can find. And we knew going into the year that having the chance to play a team like NYU would be a real test for us. But I want them to be faced with that level of competition for this exact moment, knowing that when we get to the NCAA tournament, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, we know they're strong, we know that they're good. Nothing unexpected though, so we're going to try this week to kind of cater our training towards what we could expect.
The Eagles head into the tournament on an 8-game winning streak. Husson did not allow a single goal the entire postseason, and now they say they're a much different team than they were in September when they lost to NYU, and they are ready for round 2.
The team has really found their chemistry. Our seniors and older players have really found their stride, and our younger players that have gained this full season of experience going into this tournament are ready to play at this level now.
Good luck to them. That game at 11 a.m. Saturday. To some football now. The Patriots picking up their 3rd win of the season on Sunday in Chicago, and really it was never much of a game at all. The Patriots and 3rd overall pick Drake May dominating the Bears and 1st overall pick Caleb Williams on Sunday to a tune of a 19-3 victory. The Pats D sacking Williams a total of 9 times. New England is now just 1 win away from matching their season total from a year ago. Drake May had another solid day. He threw a touchdown in the 2nd quarter to fellow rookie Jalen Polk. And don't look now, but New England has now won 2 of their last 3 games.
It's always good to come in here after a victory. I thought the guys really answered the challenge that we had all during the week.
Phones down, notepads down real quick. Just clap it up for the defense, man. They get after you, mix up shell, mix up coverage, mix up blitz packages. It was pretty cool to watch.
A big day for that Pats defense. Staying with football now, it was another great weekend for the UMaine Black Bears. Maine coming away with a 38-26 victory over the Bryant Bulldogs. The Black Bears dominated the first half, getting off to a quick 35-0 start behind 4 touchdowns from quarterback Carter Peavy early on. With the win, the Black Bears are now 5-5 on the season. Compare that to the last 2 seasons where they won 4 games combined, and they are miles ahead of where they were last fall. With 2 games left, Maine has the chance to finish 500 or better, and head coach Jordan Stevens says that success is a result of the program trusting the process.
You know, having a process about us, having a standard of how we play, and believing in that, and having a standard in how we practice, and that process, and seeing that payoff on Saturdays with wins is certainly helpful, and much needed this year. We're so much of a operation that's 1 week at a time, but it's certainly recognizable that our players and our coaches have trusted that process.
Maine plays Elon Saturday at 2 p.m. It's their last road game of the regular season. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Let your creativity run free at the Creative Arts Center, where we offer fun and affordable activities for all ages. Birthday parties, pottery wheel classes, painting lessons, or just for the fun of it. Get fired up for glazing projects as well as acrylics. We offer a wide selection of ceramic products for you to choose from, and we have thousands of pieces ready to paint. We are a Paragon kiln dealer and a Laguna Clay distributor. Stop by the Creative Arts Center today, located just off the Joshua Chamberlain Bridge in Brewer. The Creative Arts Center, where your only limitation is your imagination.
Now's the time to get a great deal on the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. Professional-grade mowers, durable Sidekick utility vehicles, and versatile compact tractors. It's the equipment you need to take care of your land. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $300.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
We have 1,400 acres of land here on the side of Millinocket Lake, looking right at Katahdin. The types of things that visitors really seek wasn't as robust as it needed to be. The New England Outdoor Center put a lot of energy into trying to build out those recreational amenities. Katahdin Trust was willing to take the time to get to know us. They demonstrated a real willingness to make investments with businesses that are well positioned to help this region grow. They're cheery and pleasant, and they want to help me solve problems.
All right, now we talked a bit too much. You have something on your face.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Let's get a look at that forecast with meteorologist Devin
I
Binks.
have a big smile on my face.
It's still there.
Okay, I'll work
Other
on it.
side.
All right, here's Devin. Other side.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. We have gale warnings that are posted until noon on Wednesday because active surf will be expected as we get some gusty winds going today. And those wave heights are increasing at around 3 feet according to the buoys, but farther out towards sea, we have 6 to even 9 feet being observed there. So we will have to watch that as we do move forward in time, as the wave heights will also be increasing for us. But meanwhile, here's what we got. We got rain showers tracking from the west and going toward the east this morning along an area low pressure that is rotating through. It is pulling cold air in from the north, so that may help to change a little bit of this over to a little bit of snow before it does track off toward the east. Then things will start to calm down later on this afternoon, but the clouds will linger for the rest of the day. But notice the system right about in here. Notice a lot of nothing right behind it, so things will start to calm down for us once we get the system out of here. So futurecast moving forward, we'll be watching out for the last of the rain and snow to get out of here. The clouds break up later on today and the parts of this evening. But the gusty winds, notice the isobars stay stacked. So that means gusty winds continue overnight tonight under that mostly clear sky. And even in the parts of tomorrow morning, watching out for a lot of sunshine, but still some gusty winds at times too. But those winds will gradually start to calm down slowly but surely throughout the day Wednesday. And then by Wednesday night, a little bit calmer out there, but still maybe a little bit of a breeze at times as we remain relatively clear. So maybe a little bit of additional rainfall and maybe some melted down snow as this all passes through, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch further off towards the north of additional rainfall and melted down snow, but really that's about it. Nothing too major on the way from here on out. But again, we do have gusty winds to watch out for, and those could reach up to about 35 miles per hour, even 40 miles per hour at times. But then those gusts will start to back off a little bit later on tonight to about 25 miles per hour or so. But then notice those gusty winds continue tomorrow up to around 25 miles per hour at times. So otherwise, though, our average high temperature is 47 degrees. We've already hit our high temperature in the mid 40s or so today, but now we're going to be cooling off in the lower 40s or so for the rest of the day, and then maybe even some 30s later on this afternoon to the evening time frame. Well, then we remain in the lower 40s Wednesday into Thursday. Then Friday we're back in the mid 40s. Saturday upper 40s. Lower 50s return Sunday and also into your Monday. So your forecast coming up for today, middle 40s. We're going to cool off for the rest of the day too. Some morning rays, snow switching over to a mostly cloudy sky, and that northwest wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. We cool off into the mid 20s tonight, mostly clear and windy. North wind getting up to about 35 miles per hour at times. Tomorrow, lower 40s, lots of sunshine, also windy. North wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour at times. Let's check out your extended forecast here, showing lots of sunshine Thursday with highs in the low 40s. Some more rain and snow Friday, switching over to all rain with highs in the mid 40s. Upper 40s Saturday with a chance for rain showers yet again.
holidays. And holiday trips. And holiday toys. And holiday bonding. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
Find your red tag. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Plus, get $3,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit your Maine Chevy dealers.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
After an accident, the insurance company often wants to rush you into accepting their fair offer. Don't sign away your rights.
I didn't trust the insurance company.
They were wanting to settle fast and cheap. How much is your case worth? It's probably worth more than you've been told.
I called Joe.
I found out what my case was really worth.
Say yes to maximum compensation, to everything you deserve. Call the firm that has been getting justice for Mainers for 50 years.
Tell them you mean business.
Maine's premier community radio station, Star 97.7, broadcasting loud and clear on our new tower. 50,000 watts of smooth rock and roll with Paul and Sonny in the morning and Mike Dow in the afternoon. Star 97.7.
Everybody stay put! An innocent man is about to spend his life in prison for a murder he did not commit. Which gives you a second chance to find the real killer.
Nobody walks out of here alive unless you do.
Members of the Canoe City Swim Club spent their day at the Old Town YMCA, participating in the organization's first ever swim-a-thon. The group of nearly 40 athletes, ranging in ages from 6 to 18, swam laps in the Herb Sargent Family Therapeutic Pool for 24 hours straight. The aquatics director and head coach for Canoe City Swim Club, Taylor Rogers, says in addition to helping raise money for the swim program, the swim-a-thon also gave athletes a chance to bond and reach some personal milestones.
It's just a really great opportunity for the team to come together, work hard to accomplish a goal, and learn early in the season how to support each other, lift each other up, be a good teammate, and also to work hard together to achieve that common goal.
The group hopes to raise about $12,000 through the event. For more information on the Canoe City Swim Club and how to donate to our website, visit foxbangor.com.
How to donate to them, not donate to our website.
Oh, right.
Just so you know.
Sorry.
That's what it said, but yeah, you're not donating to us. It's to them.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, what a nice thing they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, I have another story here. More than 1,000 mariachis gathered in Mexico City's main square on Sunday to break the record of most mariachis performing in unison. With the classic theme of Mexican music, Cielito Lindo, more than 1,000 mariachis broke the previous record for the performance of that song, with 700 mariachi musicians performing it in the city of Guadalajara. This record was the conclusion of the first Mariachi Congress held in Mexico City. I love mariachi music.
Yeah, I wish I could have heard it without a mic. That must have sounded really cool. Yeah. All right, looks like we're running out of time. If you missed anything, head to foxbangor.com. We'll start a renewed hour of Good Morning Maine next on Fox 22.
Have a great day.
Maine's largest network of parts has more reasons to shop this fall and more ways to keep you warm. Stock up and hit the road with Milwaukee's heated hoodies all winter long at the lowest price guaranteed. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here. Did you know that I wear hearing aids? I was wearing those expensive hearing aids for years, and I didn't know any better until a good friend of mine told me about MD Hearing. I thought the price was too good to be true, but I bought a pair anyway. No doctor visit, no prescription, no hassle. It was easy. When they showed up, I called and spoke to Sandy, one of their audiologists, to make sure the hearing aids fit and work the way I needed. And they do that for everyone, not just me.
Call now and get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids for just $297 with a free portable charging case and free shipping. The rechargeable Neo is nearly invisible with its tiny in-the-ear canal design. And you can get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids with a 45-day risk-free trial, free shipping, and free lifetime U.S.-based support for only $297.
I started hearing things I haven't heard in a long time. I didn't realize how bad my hearing was until I got the hearing aids.
I've never had a better pair of hearing aids. I wear them all the time, and I'm even wearing them now. Call my friends at MD Hearing and get my favorite over-the-counter hearing aids for you.
Call now and get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids for just $297 with a free portable charging case and free shipping.
Call 800-604-1487. 800-604-1487.
Maine's largest network of parts has more reasons to shop this fall and more ways to keep you warm. Stock up and hit the road with Milwaukee's heated hoodies all winter long at the lowest price guaranteed. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Good morning, America. President-elect Trump moving fast to fill his cabinet. Plus, answers in Delphi, Indiana after 8 years.
Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, a look back at Veterans Day celebrations around the state, including the return of a special parade in Bangor.
Plus, the ranked choice vote tabulation for the 2nd Congressional District begins today in Augusta.
And with wildfires burning from coast to coast, forecasters say that the current windy conditions could lead to even more fires. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories and a lot more coming up. But first, a check of the forecast, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any appreciable rain in the next few days. That will help with the wildfire danger here in Maine. We may see a few drops this morning, maybe even a few snowflakes in a few areas, but then things should start clearing up a bit later on today.
Oh my gosh, he said the S word.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get a look at that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.